What's up guys, this is Nedelcu. I just wanted to do a quick video and tell you about my first apartment building purchase and what you guys could do to buy something similar for yourself and why you would want to. So let's just jump right into it. Most of the time if you're buying investment real estate, you'll have to put between 20 and 33% down on it. But there's something called an FHA loan, which is basically a first-time home buyers assisted type loan that if you use that, you only have to put like 3.5% down, sometimes 5%. If you do that, a $260,000 building, like what I got, $9,100 is your down payment. $9,100. You can come up with $9,100, and then you could do something called a seller's concession, and with FHA, you can do that up to 6%. So what that does is it's adding money on top of your loan so that you can finance your closing costs. So really, all that you have to be out of pocket is the $9,100, and you can own an apartment building. You just have to live in one of the units for a year. So I would recommend doing this with a 2 to 4 unit apartment building. I did it with a 4 unit because that's the biggest you can get with FHA. Any bigger than that and it's considered commercial. So I'll run through some numbers on my building and see why it makes sense to do this. So $9,100 down. The units that were rented, there were 3 rented, and they were each rented for $750 a month. So that's $2,250 total income, not including me being able to live in the 4th one for free, basically. My mortgage, taxes, and insurance came to $1,870 per month. So that's like all of the money that's coming out of my pocket every month. So that's what, a $380 profit that I'm making on top of my mortgage getting paid down, on top of it appreciating 3% a year, and on top of me being able to live for free. So after a year, I get to move out of this place and I get to rent my unit for like actual market rent, which is like $800 a month, let's say. So 380 plus 800, $1,180 a month on top of my mortgage, on top of everything. And I get to go out and buy another one of these things. So imagine what your life would be like with an extra $1,180 a month. That's not including 30 years from now when the mortgage is paid off. A $260,000 building, what do you think it would be worth in 30 years? Probably more than $260. Let's say it's worth $500. Let's say it's worth $500. So your $9,100 investment is now $500,000 on top of you being paid $1,180 a month or more over the course of 30 years. You should do this, and this is how. First thing you need to do is save up a little bit of money. $10,000 should be enough for like a down payment on most any 2 to 4 unit apartment building. Make sure that your debt to income ratio is as good as it could possibly be. If you have like a high car payment or a lot of credit card debt or something, you'll probably have to pay that off, at least to qualify for the most you possibly can. And then I'm pretty sure with FHA, you get the best rates for anything over 680. Don't quote me on that, but I think 680 is like the best you can get for FHA loans. And that's like really reasonable. Like when I got my loan, my credit score was like 790 or something. And I really don't do anything special. So just make sure that you have your credit history right, and make sure that you don't have like a lot of debt or anything, like no payments coming out. And on top of that, with FHA, you're gonna need between like 60 days and 2 years work history, unfortunately. So it depends on what kind of job you're in. If you are in some kind of like commission-based job or something like that, like what I do, you'll probably need 2 years of tax returns to be able to show that you make enough income for it. But let's say you worked at like a warehouse or like a post office or some kind of like job where you have a salary where it's like very like good income that you know is like consistent and it's gonna come in every month. If you have something like that, you could probably get away with like even 60 days work history to do something like that. So if you need to, you could probably get a second job for 60 days, 90 days, half a year, save up some extra money, have the work history, and be able to do this. And I definitely think that is something you should be looking into. I'm going to do some additional videos about some of the stuff that you should learn before you start doing anything like this. One book that I would recommend reading is The ABCs of Real Estate by Ken McElroy. That was one that helped me a lot when I was trying to figure out how to run numbers on stuff like this. Another important one that I think would help a lot is How to Build Wealth with Real Estate or something like that by Grant Cardone. He's a really great resource when it comes to anything like this. He mostly works with commercial stuff, but you know, if you're just getting started, you don't have the $200,000, $300,000 for a down payment on a 16-unit apartment building. If you get something like this, it still makes sense, and it's gonna cement your future and be able to help you build wealth the rest of your life. Especially if you can get 5, 6, 7 units by the time you're 30 years old. It's going to make a huge difference in how you can save money and how you can do a ton of other stuff in your life. This just opens up so many different opportunities for me, because a year from now, when I buy another one, let me break this down for you. Let's say next I buy a duplex, a bigger building. Let's say the other unit is just covering the mortgage. Let's say I'm just breaking even, but I'm able to live in one of the units for free. Living for free and $1,170 a month, $1,200 a month. Like, I can almost retire on that, wouldn't you think? Like, my car payment's like $600 a month, $700 maybe. It's like, on top of my job, I'm just like raking in money like fucking crazy. And when I start getting my third, my fourth, my fifth one, and I'm getting $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month forever. Come on, guys, like, this isn't that hard to do, especially if you get your first couple with FHA loans, or even like a 5% down conventional loan. You can like get so many properties like this, and like, yeah, sure, after a point you're gonna have to start putting like 20% down. You could probably get like 10 houses, like having to put no more than 20% down. And you could do that quickly. You could probably do that in like 5 years. You could probably retire in 5 years doing this. So start looking into FHA loans. Talk to a loan officer about like what you can qualify for. Start working with a real estate agent and looking at properties. And if you need any help, reach out to me, and I'd be happy to answer any questions for you. If you're watching this video and I'm famous at that point, then probably don't reach out to me. But if you're watching this super in the future, I'm not famous yet, but I will be. Okay, bye.